All right, now we're going to have some fun with our segment. And Kimberly Fell, our North County real estate expert. Last time we had her, we were out in the field. This time, we've brought her and Pollock, the director of the Chihuahua Rescue, and 3 furry friends that, don't be confused by Chihuahuas. They're actually really tough dogs. They had to get past security to get in here today, and we made it. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Good. Well, let's introduce the dogs so that we don't just have dogs around. People are like, what's up with the dogs, right? So, Ann, you run a rescue agency, really good for you, a charitable thing that you do.
We do. It's a nonprofit charitable, Chihuahua Rescue of San Diego, established in 2003. And since then,
13 years.
Yeah, we've had about almost 4,000 dogs go through.
4,000 dogs that you can say that you believe you rescued.
Well, yeah, we found homes for them or put them in our senior dog program.
So what does the process of that look like, right? So the dog gets to you some way, shape, or form. But Kimberly is an example. You're a foster home, right?
Well, I'm a foster failure home.
Oh.
I did foster a dog, and then I ended up with Peppy here. She lived with an older woman who passed away in 2012 and didn't have a place to go. And as a 12-year-old dog, things don't always turn out so well at the shelter. And so they took her in at the Chihuahua Rescue. And actually, the whole rest of 2012, they tried to find a home for her, but the older dogs are hard to adopt.
Yeah.
So I took her in February to continue to try to find a home, and it was really easy. It was my home. So I've had her now for 3.5 years, and she's probably like 16 years old, and she's the best.
Now, does that happen a lot, Ann? See, that's the thing. There's no way I could do the foster thing. I think I would end up with like 12 dogs, right?
Well,
I mean, don't you fall in love with the dog? You're not a good person to talk to.
do.
You're a living proof.
To be really honest, the younger dogs, I mean, they're going to find homes, and so you feel great about having a place for them to stay in a warm home until they find their forever home. It's the seniors that, you know, I mean, there were really no options. She was going to rescue events, and people kind of weren't paying attention to her. So,
Well, I think people are afraid that an older dog is going to mean medical bills and expenses. And even though senior citizens may be living on a fixed income, they would love to have a companion animal,
Right.
but feel, oh my God, I can't do this because I can't afford it. So we instigated a new program called Silver Linings. And that's basically
Sorry, I'm laughing. This dog is staring at me like, I swear, sticking his tongue out at me.
she wants you to take her home.
Is that what's happening right now?
Oh, Ruby. Ruby
going,
needs
please.
a runner. We have a program called Silver Linings, which we take dogs usually over 10 years old that have a very small chance of getting adopted and put them in homes with low income or seniors. And we still maintain all the medical and even food for these dogs so that they are in a home. Another human being is getting out walking with their dog and having a companion. It's a win-win.
Well, it's really an awesome thing you guys do. I mean, the charitable element of it, and you know, that's a sad story. The owner passes, the dog's still a great dog, and all of a sudden it's like the dog has to pass too. So what you do is amazing. 4,000 dogs is a pretty impressive number. And my dog's a rescue, and he's the best dog ever. So anyone who thinks that breeding is the way to go, I can personally speak to the fact that I've had the best experience with my dog Buster as a rescue from a shelter as well.
Well, you buy a dog from a breeder, whether it be a reputable or even, you know, a backyard breeder, somebody that's only in it for the money, you're basically killing off dogs in the shelters. 7 million animals a year in the United States.
I just did a search before I came down, and generally the #1 dogs in the shelters that need homes there's a lot of pit bulls. Chihuahuas are actually right up there as well because there's just a lot of them in Southern California. And so I did a search, and within 100 miles of my home in Oceanside, there were 1,756 Chihuahuas that were up for adoption right now on petfinder.com.
Wow.
And of those, over 1,000 of them were adults and seniors. So
well, these ones are doing a great job today on their best behavior. She's looking very adoptable. How's so Kimberly Fell is also not just a charitable person. I love the story we're sharing today, but you're also a top producing realtor out of North County. You're doing really big things up there, great reputation. So please enlighten us in a minute about how the real estate market's doing.
Perfect. I think that we're picking back up for another fall surge. July and August tend to be a little bit slower as people are vacationing and getting ready to go back to school. And the last couple of years, September and October and November, have been very busy, just like spring is.
What advice would you give to buyers going into the fall?
I would say that it is a good time. It's technically still a seller's market, but it's not quite as busy as the spring. And so there should be ample inventory and some opportunities out there.
So there's options for you, plus low interest rates we've spoken a lot
yeah.
about on the program. Sellers, if people are looking to sell, what advice would you give to them?
Again, it's a good time of year. You still have an opportunity to sell by the end of the year for tax purposes. And again, if there's another surge, there's going to be just more activity for both buyers and sellers. I have a great new listing. It's in San Marcos, which now has some of the top-rated schools in the county. It is a 3,900 square foot home on top of a hill up above Lake San Marcos in a gated community called Veradero. It features 2 master suites. There's a complete master suite on the first floor, and then the second one, and the rest of the bedrooms are upstairs. It's a beautiful home, turrets, very castle-like, just a very high-end home with a very tropical backyard. Hopefully people can check it out. It's 1727 Azul Vista in San Marcos.
Awesome. Well, if you've learned anything today, Kimberly is just a great reputation in the market, does really big numbers up there, but you're also a charitable person. And
Yeah.
I appreciate you bringing on the dogs today and having some fun. And thanks for coming on as well. And let's get you up to 8,000 dogs that you can help. Hopefully people will reach out to you online and maybe give one of these guys a home.